The Mills administration is asking the legislature to allocate $16 million to the state's Emergency Housing Relief Fund. Housing leaders say that money would enhance the work already underway to fight homelessness and save taxpayer dollars. Chris Costa explains why this fund could be a more sustainable way to help immigrants resettle in Maine and start contributing to the state's economy.
A new apartment can signal a fresh start.
So you all have your own entrance, okay?
Christine Dyke is welcoming some new tenants. Apartments you might not expect to find under a church steeple.
I realized we had so much additional space that was empty so much of the week. And I kept asking myself, what good can this space be?
We have to figure out the lease.
Reverend Christine Dyke got a $450,000 grant from the state's Emergency Housing Relief Fund. She put that money to work, renovating the First Parish Church in Gorham's empty space.
These were all offices here, and they've all been converted to living spaces now, except that room right there was an office, and now it is 3 showers.
A different type of sanctuary, new homes for asylum seekers resettling in Maine.
When
I first came to this church, I cried.
Amelia and her daughters arrived in Maine 5 months ago. She says at first, they lived on the streets.
I never thought it was possible to move to a place like this.
4 families now have a new place.
Which one is your bed?
A real place to call home.
That one right there.
And then this is the combination kitchen, laundry room, living room, and dining room.
They share these spaces with ways to cook culturally appropriate food. That's not always an option at shelters. Neither is privacy.
Privacy is so important, especially when you have completely left everything you know. And you've come to a place where the language, at best, it might be your second or third language, if you're lucky. For some of them, their English language skills aren't very good. And this is the space where you can go and you can feel safe and you can relax.
Stop me! Stop me!
State housing officials say this model is not only more humane, but more cost-effective than shelters or using general assistance dollars for hotels.
The cost per night of assisting people is significantly less. And we also find that people tend to be less isolated.
It feels like home. The only difference that we are a big family here.
What's your response to them about why using the Housing Relief Fund is an appropriate use of state taxpayer dollars for these people?
The purpose of the Emergency Housing Relief Fund is really to assist people who are experiencing homelessness regardless of citizenship status. And so it's certainly not a matter of providing assistance to one group over another. It's not an either or, it's both.
In both the Hebrew scriptures and the New Testament, we are constantly told and asked to care for the strangers in our midst. Care for the hungry, care for the homeless, care for all this, and we take that very, very seriously.
Chris Costa with our story.